What have I been doing with my life? I'm pushing 30, I watch anime, I'm not in college or employed or getting specialty training of any sort. It's exhausting pretending that I have a career in front of my friends who actually work for a living. Oh look, a new anime. It's called ReLIFE. Huh. This anime has a guy who has no job, living off his parents' generosity, and has no potential job prospects. This seems oddly familiar. Someone comes along and offers him a pseudoscience magic pill which reverts his age by 10 years, allowing him to go back to high school. So, can we switch? No? Please? Alright, so the guy goes back to high school and he's the bottom of the class. He doesn't remember anything that was important through college and has to make friends while dealing with the fact that he's a 27-year-old male in a 17-year-old male shell. This means that technically he can't hump the girls in the school because, that's statutory rape, which is a nice and organic way of preventing the main character from nailing every supporting character in a half-mile radius. The main character was offered the pill by a person from the research facility that it was created in, and has taken the pill himself in order to monitor and report on the progress of the main character. It is made clear fairly early on that this is the second year for such experiments, and that some sort of memory wipe is available to the research group. This also leads me to some characters that I'm curious about, but I'll go into that in a minute. The main character spends the first 2 episodes being a blundering idiot, then happens to make a few friends and help a character or two out of a slightly sticky situation. This endears him to some of the characters who are going to end up giving us a sad backstory at some point, because it is always a sad backstory that they will spill in the episode that it focuses entirely on that character, because this is what happens in a slice of life anime. So why do I like this anime so far? Besides being a disturbingly recurring dream of mine where I return to my high school and demand that they do a better job with my education and spend the next 4 years being suave and debonair in a simply ludicrous degree when compared to my actual social skills, maybe it's the writing. Well, let's cover a few things real quick. The art is pretty and functional, but switches to the lower quality character animation to show shock or pain or an evil smile, much like how it is done in MM or Clannad. In fact, the artwork in general is similar to Hibiki Euphonium, well-drawn foreground and a rendered background similar enough to the anime aesthetic to go mostly unnoticed. It's not God Eater obvious, and it isn't in every scene, but there are rendered parts, which obviously saves the animators time and cost, as a lot of the classrooms and sweeping school shots, things like that, could be recycled from anime to anime, so I'm fine with it. As for the acting, ReLIFE is in Japanese only, so I don't have any complaints about tone or line syncing up properly. There's an audio distortion and whispered lines to indicate internalized thoughts, which is standard in anime, and used to great effect as it is both used early on to get the audience used to it, as well as being enough of an auditory shift to mentally signal that these words are not simply whispered, but internalized. With that said, the anime is written fairly well so far, and here's where I will warn you that I may be throwing something akin to a spoiler, so the bar up there will warn you when to mute, and when I'm done. Muted? If not, too late. Here we go. I have a sneaking suspicion that there are 4 people currently under the effect of the drug. Firstly, the quiet girl with the pigtails in the front row seems to have memory issues despite being top of the class, which means she is incredibly smart and can memorize names and ideas quickly. As there is a recurring theme where she doesn't remember people's names but stats about them, I'm betting that she was the first person subjected to the test, and she had her memory wiped when she refused the project or had told somebody that she was in it. Secondly, other than the main male character, there is a girl with glasses that transferred in, like he did. Combining that with a short and cheery conversation he had with his mother earlier on where she cut him off from financial assistance, and I'm betting that the girl with glasses is actually his mother, who also joined the project and is using her maiden name instead of her married name, and this is why he doesn't recognize it. I bet this will be subtly revealed later, maybe through a phone contact or a mentioning of her son. She just seems very world knowledgeable and similarly dispassionate about high school important things. Okay, banner off. Welcome back to Those That Muted. That those that didn't, do not spoil the Hydra. I mean, all in all, it's looking solid, and the girl's not being hoarded out for the sake of views or eye candy is really endearing the show to me, easily making it near the top of the list of the animes I have reviewed so far. Now, this anime is not going to go into my top 10, but it's a very solid slice of life anime, so you might as well start there if you want to get into this genre.